There we go. All right.
Who's eating chips?
That would be.
Still introducing it. We
That would
didn't
be
even get
Willow.
that recorded.
Willow was eating ketchup chips.
Okay, well, please don't with your mic on. We don't want to.
Never mind. I stand corrected. It was captured, just slightly delayed because YouTube.
Ah, no,
So
my
we're good.
chips!
Order!
Please,
Order.
please silence, please. The public portion is about to begin. Welcome to the public portion of the general staff meeting for the minecart. Okay, please do not eat chips, otherwise I will mute you.
Turn your mic off.
Just never eat chips.
Okay.
Yourself, please.
Okay, so once again, this is the public portion of the general staff meeting for the Minecraft Rapid Trans server for May the 11th, 2019. This was a particularly long meeting. There's a lot of topics to go through, so I'll try to go through them as fast as possible so we can get to the Q&A and all the other shenanigans that are going to happen today. So, first off, yeah, there was one city that we looked at for Premier City Reviews. That was New Cretium by Devi Sky. Based on votes that that staff have done, we have decided not to approve that. So unfortunately, Devi Sky not approved for Premier. Going on to community issues, I'm not going to reveal the redacted topic, but we have looked at UCAR's replace. Okay, someone's please.
I got it.
Please do not interrupt. Thank you.
I got muted.
Okay, so
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
UCAR, we did look at some UCAR's possible replacements for the UCAR's plugin. Two of them, if you've read the agenda or the public agenda, two of them are don't seem to be appropriate for our server or don't seem to work. The third one, which is called Quality, what's it called again? Quality something? Quality Armory. Quality Armory. It is a paid plugin and seems to be the only one that I've seen that apparently seems to work. But it does have, on further discussion, it does seem to have an issue where it requires a downgrade of Protocol Lib, which is a API plugin that we use. And for our server, we're probably not going to be able to downgrade in order to allow for Quality Armory to be installed. So for the time being, we're going to keep an eye on that plugin, but until they fix that issue with Protocol Lib, we won't be installing a UCAR's replacement anytime soon. So I basically expect horses and other forms of transportation to be prominent for the next while. And yeah.
Horse Renaissance.
Next up, oh yeah, let's talk about the New World, full New World Dynmap render. I'll talk about scheduling first. We're probably going to be doing it next week. And also we are going to be implementing 45-degree 3D maps instead of 60 degrees. So there'll be a slight improvement in quality there. And also we're going to be adding night maps. Whether or not night maps will be a permanent thing, we'll probably do it this one time around. If it turns out that they're not that useful, we'll probably move them at probably the next full Dynmap render. But I think it's worth a try, if not just for the novelty factor. And because we're doing the night maps and the 45 degrees, the Dynmap render for next week is probably going to take like maybe 4 to 5 days. So it'll start probably on the Monday after restart, or at least my time. Like the restart usually happens 9 p.m. Pacific on Sunday, so probably after the offsite backup has happened and the restart, I'll probably start the Dynmap render then. And I expected that the render will probably take 4 to 5 days. I will be putting out on this. There won't be any progress messages. Like, at least the messages won't be showing how far the Dynmap render is done, because it is a new type of render that we're doing. So I don't actually know. I don't have the numbers to estimate how much progress is done. However, probably every 5 minutes or so, I will put out I'll put a script in there that'll say a message that'll remind people that the Dynmap render is running. It'll also say remind people that no world edits will be allowed during this time, and also no other Dynmap renders like radius renders will be allowed as well. So this does, so keep it, so basically next week, if you are trying to get a world edit done, you won't be able to do it during for that 3 to 4 or 5 day period. So if you want to get any world edits done, you probably want to ask today or tomorrow for those. So that's that. We did look at a moderator nomination for 2D. That is what the topic was. I will not name the person. We have decided not to promote anybody for this meeting. And also, we will be skipping moderator nominations for the June GSM. The next time we will be looking at moderators will be the August GSM, since there will be no GSM for July. So please keep that in mind. Yeah, any new mods, please send them for the August GSM, not the June one. Okay, moving on to 2F. JTrain77 has requested a caretaker role for for MRT land, which is near Central City. We've looked at his proposal. Seems like he wants to maintain a lot of the rides there and not really add too much there, so that this proposal has been approved. Next up, we look at a proposal from _11 regarding adding selection-only permissions, world edit permissions for members. Out of all the commands that were looked at, so we are going to we'll need to test this on beta first before we put this in action, but we think that we will be able to approve at least selection commands. So things like using the wand, position 1, position 2, deselection, and shifting the selection. However, commands like count or DISTR, distribution, those ones have been known to crash servers. So after you select things, and if you do either count or distribution, if you select a very large area, like a whole server, for example, then that will crash server, and we will not be allowing that for members because that'd be crazy. So that's that, and so we won't be enabling those commands immediately. We need to do a little more testing on beta to do that, but yeah, those will be coming soon. In addition to this, _11 also asked for the back command to be enabled. That has been denied, mainly for the reason the back command isn't a terribly reliable method of teleportation, and I think there was one other reason. I don't exactly remember. Can Steph fill me in there?
Not all plugins support slash back.
And also money. Don't forget the money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can break into PAs.
Yeah.
Big bad.
Yeah. So we're going to just to reduce the amount of confusion and complexity around back. We're gonna be denying the back command there. Okay, so moving on to 2H, Chief had a proposal regarding mobs, some very specific restrictions around mobs and items, especially those that crash the server. We've decided there were some concerns from other staff that maybe these restrictions were a bit too specific and probably hard to enforce at the time being. So for the time being, these rules will not change. However, I will basically remind everyone that if you are going to be using some sort of items, like special item like an enchantment, please be I guess mindful of what you're using. If it's some ridiculous, if it is some item with some ridiculous number and it causes the server to lag or crash, then staff will notice and we will ask you to remove that item. Preferably, we prefer that you don't have the item in the first place. So far, we've been pretty reactive when it comes to finding out these sort of things. I would like to ask all members to be proactive in just not playing with those items in the first place. So,
And also, some things that are known to crash the server are fireworks with long duration and things with knockback above 100.
And while it doesn't crash, it's still really annoying to have a splash potion with like 40 effects on it. So
yeah,
at whoever had the pathogen, get rid of that.
Okay. If it does turn out to be a problem later on, then we will probably look back at this and maybe actually implement some rules. But we're going to trust you guys to not do something stupid. So, okay. Moving on to section 2J, Mega is the de facto map world guy, and he's provided some rules. These have been approved. These will be added to the rules revamp, which Chief will probably get to at some point. And yep. Let's see what else is there. As a proposal from Foxwolf 11, he would like to rename Lake Number 11 on the New World to Avenir Bay. The name change has been approved by staff, but we just want to make sure with Foxwolf that he's not trying. The wording of the proposal was a bit unclear. It did sound like the wording sounded like that he wanted to claim the whole lake, which I think that's a bit too much. So we're just gonna clarify with him that that's not what he was asking for. Next up is 2L. Vicky Posa has provided a warp, or not warp, ward expansion, or a new ward map for the New World. We have approved. It's not called Route D. It's some other. Is it a Route D? Plan D, not Route D.
Option D.
Option D. Okay, so if you look on the public agenda, there's a bunch of different options, particularly around the wards 8 and 9. The staff have approved Plan D, and with that, this is basically the new map for the wards, the official map. If you have any questions regarding any roads that may, when it comes to existing roads that may fall in or out of the different wards, we're not going to be changing any of the numberings of the existing roads. That'd be too much work. And even if a road doesn't completely fall into into a ward, or maybe just even partially falls into a ward, we're not going to be too strict on that. It's just, again, it's more of a guideline to, try to help basically guide when any new roads that get built, for example. Okay, and the redacted topic 2M will not be discussed in the public portion. And now we're going to go on to section 3. We have 2 new MRT line expansions. The first one is the western portion of the southern line. That's a pretty long extension into the southwest Arctic biome. This has been proposed by Gods. This has been approved. And the other extension is by CCC9, the extension of the desert line. His original proposal called for also extending this line into that southwestern portion with the southern line. However, there were concerns about duplicating, because if the southern line's already there, there may not be too much usefulness for expanding there. Also for the fact that the desert line should probably be mainly in the desert biome for the most part. So having it end in the Arctic biome doesn't make too much sense for us. So because of this, we're going to approve for now the desert line extension up to H28. And then maybe at a future GSM, maybe June or August, we'll probably discuss where the desert line could go from there. Some other options could include extending desert line further west instead, into more desert biome. Moving on to section 4, several roads to look at. Narnia 17 has proposed some rework and rerouting of the A5. There are 2 parts to this. I'll talk about the second part first. The second part is near Venceslau. This is basically connecting up the A5 with the rest of the roads there. That part has been approved. The first part is a bit of in contention right now. The first part is near the A0 interchange near Central City. Narnia basically wants to connect it up to the existing interchange that's in the very south of Central City. We're going to talk to Narnia about this, but I think a better solution here would be for maybe to disconnect the existing A5 connection, intersection that's further west, and maybe just connect with that big elaborate interchange to the east instead. So we're going to talk to Narnia about that and see if he'd be okay with that. But the other part of this proposal has been approved. Next up is the 8410 from Cremona to Sunshine Coast. This provides basically a second road, an actual A road into Sunshine Coast. This has been approved. And then finally for roads, the B355 extension from Jungleville to Bachville proposed by Majetho. This has been approved as well. Moving on to section 5. So the first one is the video contest that I've been discussing for the past few days. In terms of the monies, staff have approved, in principle, the prizes there. There is a possibility that... Actually, the thing is, we don't know how many submissions we're expecting for this contest. If in the event that we get too few submissions per category, like maybe we're talking about like less than 9 or less than 3 per category there, then the prize amounts may be subject to change. So there is that. Also, there are concerns about the replay mod and 1.14. That is not available right now, and we're not entirely sure when that'll be available or when the server will update to 1.14. And my intention was to run the contest from now until the end of June. But if there's no update happening until then a lot of people won't be able to use that replay mod. So we're gonna... If you have some concerns about this, please tell us in the public portion. I have some ideas that have been floated, is maybe moving the video or postponing the video contest to after the anniversary, to allow time for people to create these videos and plan things out. Maybe the actual end date would be probably like August, perhaps. So that's one option. The other option is I could instead provide a new a world download earlier, because usually I make the world download available on the anniversary date. I could make it available earlier so that people can at least load the world in their single player, and then record there. The drawbacks to this, however, is you won't be able to get people unless you like host your own multiplayer server. And also there's some things I believe like water or like ice will melt, because you won't have all the plugins that are keeping the server together. So it'll be very much a single player world, so it may not be appropriate for recording purposes there. So those are the two main options out there. I am curious of which would work better for any people interested in creating videos. So please sound off in the Q&A there. Okay, so there's that. And then other projects yep, staff, just so you know, your conversations is on stream, so just to let you know there. So moving on to the basically the canal. Red Ray is proposing between Lake Dulwich and the Equinox Ocean. This has been approved. Oh god.
What happened?
Staff.
What are you all doing?
Everyone in staff is saying hi to the stream.
Staff is...
Yes.
Why do I have this stuff? Anyway, next up is 5C. Time to Make My Move has proposed an overhaul of various signs around Central City and the roads there. Staff pretty much most staff had the opinion that the banners aren't probably not a good solution for this, which was what Time originally proposed. We would like to talk to Time about maybe using maps instead for this purpose. So basically his proposal as it stands has been denied. However, we may be open to an alternate proposal using maps instead. Next up, 5D Survivor 2 event funding. Adult Disneyland's asking for $5,000. That has been approved. Next up is Conrig005 is asking to build a third-party Neptune bus Central City bus terminal on his plot of land that is pretty much almost near the center there. This has been approved. Skelly Zopperman has asked for funding $500 each for Taco Burrito Thon 14 and 15. That has been approved. Venifly and Redway have asked for a bypass for Zenrail. That has been approved. Kitty Cat has asked for a bypass for Intrarail. I'm not going to go into details. You can look at where the bypass is. That has been approved. Frosty Creeper 10 has asked for funding for the Creeperville Franchise Expo. Based on what we're reading in the proposal, we may have to clarify with Frosty there. From what we've seen, we have rejected this proposal because it seems like it does feel like that it could be a way for Frosty to basically get people to build franchises for him in his town, because it does talk about a lot about outdoor plots and mall spaces. If it was, it's probably may not be Frosty's intention, but if Frosty were to run this expo, it would have to be in either in some sort of temporary building or expo, like indoor expo building, like the Avella Expo does, or it would have to be in some neutral location, not his city, but maybe like Central City. So Frosty, if you could just get back to us regarding this, and we can let us know if you'd like to change your proposal, change your expo to somewhere else, and then we can reconsider it then. Okay, and finally, section 6. Robin has asked for a transfer of St. Rue. After some vigorous discussion, it was determined that Robin did not want to integrate St. Rue into the existing cities of Marblegate and Lakeview. Instead, we've agreed to allow him a more of a caretaker role of this city. So he will be allowed to connect a planned rail line from St. Rue into Marblegate, as well as maintain this train station and make sure, because I know there were some other people who were waiting for connections in that city. So Robin is authorized to do that. Robin is not authorized, however, to make any expansions or add any buildings to that area. He can do that once he's integrated Lakeview and Marblegate further together in the future. Then after that point, then we can reconsider this and perhaps give him more autonomy for that city. Next up is MC Protocol is proposing a project to take over the MRT Library and National Archives. This will be approved, and we just want to make sure that this is not going to be a staff endorsed project. So technically an unofficial project. So it'll be something that, so staff aren't providing any ideas or input into this. It'll be all on MC Protocol, but it has been approved. So yeah, MC Protocol, you can go ahead and work on that. And not finally, So a Puffball is asking for an unnamed town near Gemstride and Hempstead. This has been approved, however, on the condition if Mike Roma has given permission for this. It is quite close to Hempstead, since Mike Roma is the mayor of that city. So we'd like to just confirm with Mike Roma if he is okay with this transfer. Next up is Pyro City, requested by Fred the Time Lord. This has been approved. And finally, the subway has asked for a town at WN20. This has been approved as well. Right. Before we get to the Q&A and all that fun stuff, yes. So, as a lot of you probably know, Alec announced his resignation to be effective at this GSM. So we are now going to essentially, we've already discussed with Alec. I'd like to thank Alec for his service as moderator and admin on the server. So, yes, so I think the demotion is happening now. He'll be demoted to the premier rank for Kent Hurst. And
Just ran it.
And that's that. No, okay. Let me be clear here also. Alec is not leaving the server. He is going to be still around here. So let me just make that very clear here. So he's not
He's just stepping down from staff.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's all. Staff, can you just remind me if I've maybe missed anything or screwed up anything? You know.
Apologies to anyone for getting demonetized.
I don't
I
monetize.
mean, MBS is already demonetized because I used so much copyrighted music.
I don't.
Yeah,
I've
copyright music from Paul.
I have swore before on MRT videos before. This should not be a surprise to everyone.
No, but I'm saying talk about the copyright claims and the monetization on the video contest.
Oh yes. Sorry. Yeah. A little clarification on the video contest. Yeah. So we are, for terms of music, I did say we are going to allow any type of music, even copyright music. It is also your response if in the event that if the video has copyright music that's banned in all countries, like everywhere, then that would be more of a case where we would disqualify that video. There's also a case where if the video is blocked in some countries, then we won't disqualify the video there, but it will be your responsibility to try to choose music that'll not happen for that. So basically, you do have to keep this in mind, because if your video is getting voted by other people and they find that their music is getting blocked, then that's the way they're going to have to vote with that. That's the way they're going to have to watch it. So do keep that in mind. It may cause you to possibly lose votes if your music is not playing. So just a reminder to do that.
Global equals dead.
Okay. All right. I think we are ready to do the Q&A and questions portion. So once again, just a reminder for anyone who's not familiar with this part of the GSM. So we're going to do serious questions only first, and then silly questions after. We'll let you know when those are ready to go. It doesn't have to be a question. It could be a comment, concern, complaint, even. It should be relevant. Try to make it relevant to the GSM. If it's some sort of private request that could be done outside the GSM, please do not ask it now. Please, you can ask myself or any other staff later on. What else do I need to say? Yeah, and if you want to get a turn to speak, please let me know either in the voice channel, text channel on Discord, or in game. Just PM me in game. Do not use the Twitch chat because for security reasons. So either in game, PM me in game, or let me know via voice channel.
Also, don't send Frumple a PM of anything that you don't want to appear on the internet.
And please don't spoil the nothing that is behind him.
Yeah, please try to not ask the whole question, because I just say that you would like a turn to speak. Because I may not be able to remember the whole question if there is a queue.
Just be like, yo.
Yeah, just
yo.
Say yo.
Slide into those DMs.
Yeah.
Just send the word yo to Frumple.
Just say hi to me, just be friendly.
What?
Just like 5 questions in voice chat.
I know that's a that might be a foreign concept to you, HVT, but I mean
Oh.
I just got back. What happened?
Never mind.
You just got.
What? Okay.
What did I do?
HVT, you're just building Blue Rail right now. Good.
I am.
Okay, I got 5 people in the queue. Let's get started here. First up is _11. What is your question?
Where will he be asking it?
He might be doing in voice channel.
He's typing in voice channel.
Yeah.
Am I in the queue? I'd like to be put.
Oh yeah, you are in the queue, J-Train. I got you. Okay. All right. Underscore's question is, what is the cutoff date for the video contest? Well, right now the rule. If you read the rules, I do specify which dates. At the moment, the cutoff would be June 30th for any submissions, and voting would happen from July 1st all the way to the anniversary on July 13th. However, if we decide to postpone the contest, then then the cutoff date would be pushed further back. So I've not reached the final decision regarding that yet. Yeah. Yes. Please, guys, please read the whole. In the video contest rules, I got a lot of questions that were literally answerable if you read the rules. So please be sure to read all of it, because I tried to make sure to cover everything there.
Did we remember to mention the thing about the world download?
Yeah, I did. It's a it's a possible option. Like I'm taking that as an option versus postponing the contest. So it could be we could do both, but it's either one or the other probably. Okay. So underscores there. Next question from Time to Make My Move. You may have to repost your question again, Time, because I might have. Time to Make My Move. I'm fine with having maps on the signs at the A0. Do I have to repropose everything now? Staff, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he has to, does he?
I'm just letting it slide.
We said we approve in principle, just not that. So
yeah. So Time, if you agree to just use maps instead of banners, then in that case, I would say that your proposal has been approved. Then,
and it's just based on the signs, not anything.
Yeah,
just the signage is the main thing. That's it.
If you need help, maps, not signs. If you need help with maps, I'm sure any staff would be able to help you. You either make them on the map world or maybe upload them if you need that.
And there's also Cortesi's maps, of course, for example.
Time is asking the maps that Gods and LD made. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, you can use those. There's alphabet letters on the map.
Yeah, you could use those, or you could make your own. But
there's a map library. Have a browse.
I'm getting pinged so much in Discord. Jeez. Okay. Time says, "All right." I don't know if that's the end of a sentence there. I was a typo.
Oh,
okay, so you are a typo, Time? All right, cool. All right, good to know. All right.
Okay.
All right, moving on to Conric005.
Okay, so the question I have is, so with the world edit commands that got approved or whatever, what can we do with those world edit commands if we can't really do anything with the selection? Like, we can select it, but what could we do with the selection?
You can at least get the number of blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And other metrics like the size and whatnot.
Yeah.
Measure your airfields.
Yeah, measure y'all's airfields so that we don't have to.
Oh, that is very nice.
Yeah. Again, this has not been approved. We're going to just do a little more testing on beta, but we think that this should be safe enough for people to do.
Okay.
Basically, once you select the second point, then it should show you how many blocks you've selected in total. And our testing so far seems to show that it doesn't cause if you select the whole server, it doesn't cause the server to crash.
I don't know. I can confirm.
Okay, is that good, Connor? There. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next question. Willow Wars. You may have to repost your question again because I probably missed it somewhere. Willow Wars' question is, when can we find what will be affected by ward changes? I did say that any existing roads would not be renamed, so those would not be affected. Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, go for it.
Existing stuff won't be renamed. There are a few towns that will be flip-flopping, or some towns that might be in a different ward than what was originally expected. Norwest is a notable example of this. I might like go out onto general or something for questions about which ward somebody's in. But this will be after the GSM. But barely anything that's in Gamma is affected. There's a few things, but I will like get to that later on.
Okay. Once again, thanks to Vicky for making this ward map. I know it's been a long time coming, and people have been asking, like, well, we've been putting it off for like, I think it's almost a couple of years now to make it. So
long time.
A long time.
Long time.
Okay.
Long time.
Willow, does that answer your question? Is that a sufficient answer? I don't see an answer from
Silence.
Willow, so I'm just going to move on for now. Next up is Mr. J Train 277.
So I was wondering about the video contest. As felt it's like a little bit odd to have like higher prizes for longer videos, just because longer videos don't always translate to higher effort. Because you can put much more effort. Sometimes like a 60-second video that you put tons of effort and editing into is a lot harder than a 10-minute video where you just wander around the server looking at stuff, just for example.
Okay.
Yeah. If I may, that's why we have voting.
Yeah.
And there is an overall prize, so
there is an overall prize to counteract that. I did ask people earlier in the week whether they would agree if longer videos should get higher prizes. The general consensus I got from there was yes. It should get at least a slightly higher amount, and that's what I try to reflect in the prizes. The difference in amounts isn't too large, I would say. Like, I mean, the difference between less than 5 minutes to greater than 10 minutes is maybe about a couple thousand. So that's the reasoning why I've decided to do it this way.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so next question, John G. You'll have to repost your question because I don't think I don't want to. I could scroll up, I guess.
I'll repost it if you
want. No, I think I got it. Okay. John G's asking, the rules state in the 300 block rule that you have to ask permission to build within 300 blocks of a town. Does this apply if you already have a franchise in a town and you want to destroy something inside it?
I think generally, if people are modifying their franchises, like a livery update or something like that, I think generally people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like I already like update.
It is a good courtesy to inform the town mayor. It's not an explicit rule, but you should probably inform the town mayor that you are going to modify your franchise, because the town mayor does have the ultimate authority of what gets built and changed in the city. So you may want to do that first.
But generally speaking, it's usually seen as okay if you're like updating your inventory or rebranding or something and you're staying within the same footprint. Generally, that's seen as okay and not infringing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 300 block rule doesn't really apply here. Just it's something in the city itself. So yeah, you would still on the side of caution ask permission from the mayor.
It is a good courtesy to give a heads up.
Yeah. Okay. And then next up, there's a question from Frosty. He was actually somewhat piggybacking on Time's question. Will it be okay if I change the rules so that people are encouraged to move out their franchises to their own town or wherever afterwards? This is regards with your expo, Frosty. Yeah, as long as you are not benefiting from the franchise and those franchises are not going to stay in your town, then I think that would also work as well. That was basically the main concern we had, because it felt like it probably not your intention, but felt like it could be used to expand your town and trying to basically get people to do it for you, essentially. Okay. Frosty Cooper's typing. Willow says answer question. Okay. Frosty, I'd say still send an email letting us know what you ultimately decide to do, because there's several options. We've given you several options. You can either build in a neutral city, build in a temporary building, or do what you suggested. Make sure those franchises are moved out. Let us know what you decide to do, and if it's okay with us, then we can approve it. Okay, cool. Right, that's the end of my queue for now for serious questions. If you have any further serious things you would like to talk about, or again, opinions about the video contest too. Because I do need opinions on whether I should be postponing the contest or whether I should instead provide the world download, because I am looking for feedback there.
So is it silly questions time?
No, it is not silly questions time.
I have another serious question, completely unrelated to the video.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, go for it. Yep.
I was wondering, and other people might have this a question at least in the back of their heads. What is for the new ward boundaries? What is that actually useful for? What is that used for? I've never seen the wards used besides.
We number roads based on the wards.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of falling out of fashion, so it's kind of more an aesthetic thing now.
Also,
it's still kind of held to.
Well, I mean, for new roads, people don't follow the wards at all anymore.
Well, because
people
we
should.
didn't have Epsilon roads. We didn't have Epsilon wards to
Well,
find.
now Epsilon roads could follow it. Like, I know earlier I made maps about it, and that's how the Ward 10, which was proposed this year, was.
But we will not be using them to renumber old roads unless the people who own the roads want to, then they can. But we're not.
Well, there's a bunch of roads even before this that pay no regard to the ward. So I mean, who cares?
Yeah, I see the ward system as basically a guideline. It was very useful in the Gamma days, but yeah, I think it could be used again for now. So, Kitty had a question.
I just because I'm not familiar with a world download, would it be possible to enter the world on a previous Minecraft version?
Sorry, you cut off there on the previous what? Sorry.
On a previous Minecraft version. For example, if I wanted to use the replay mod on 1.
You would be able to use it on a future Minecraft version, though. So if because Forge has 13.
In that case, I don't see that as being particularly useful unless there's a imminent 1.14.
The reason I think is because one of the big reasons was because replay mod, which I know you use to make videos and a lot of other people you can use to make videos, they've announced that they've announced that they can't get a stable build for 1.13 and are just going to skip to 1.14. There's a few others that are going to skip 1.13.
What I'm saying is that I don't think that would be useful until the replay mod updates, and I don't know when that's going to be. But yeah,
it's never going to update to 1.13 because Forge isn't releasing any stable
Right.
builds
So-
for 1.
We're already on 1.13.
Obviously, it's not an ideal solution, but
Kitty,
it's the best we can do.
So Kitty, would that mean that you'd probably be more in favor of postponing the video contest until we have 1.14 on the server and the replay mod seems to be available?
I would prefer that. If that can't be done, I will try to look into alternatives.
Okay, I'm actually kind of more in favor of also postponing because I don't know when 1.14 will be able to update to 1.14 and or when the replay mod will be available. It's a lot of variables that unknown variables we don't know. So it's unfortunate because it'd be nice to be able to see all these videos for the anniversary, but if we need to postpone to like August or even September, if need be, then I'd prefer that instead. Because I want to let people who are making videos to have enough time to have the tools ready and also to plan out where they want to make their shots and all that sort of stuff.
Oof. Yeah, agreed here.
Okay, and can I just get a sense who, out of all those people, basically anyone here, who is thinking of submitting, like entering this video contest? I want to get a sense of how many submissions we might be getting here.
I'm thinking of helping someone with theirs, but I don't think I have the technical knowledge to make one.
I'm hoping
that
to.
Looks good.
I may not, depending on various factors.
I intend to participate with a short video, and Yoshi has also asked me if I could maybe help him with a long video.
I'm
Okay.
thinking of doing it if like summer classes don't kill me. So.
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of I mights and all this, so nothing too concrete.
I'm definitely participating.
I don't think I'd be able to because the video editing software I know how to use is all on my school stuff, and I won't have access to that over the summer.
If you have a Mac, you have iMovie built in.
I don't have a Mac, and I don't want one.
Okay.
The
I
macaroni.
could send you a link to like a good free editing program.
Well, yeah, I don't want to have to relearn it after like now pretty good at After Effects and stuff.
Well, the editing.
I sure
it's
like
a free,
some mac
it's
and
a free, It's a free editing program, or at least it has like a really good free version, and it's basically got the same interface as like.
I'll look into it.
Do keep in mind that if you guys want to work together on videos, I did make it. I do kind of encourage it. So if you need help like editing,
Are we allowed to work work together in like a bunch of different videos, including an independent video?
Yes, the rules specifically say this. So any submission can be worked by multiple people, and any person can work on multiple projects. So basically, one to many, many to one. So
okay,
yeah. Okay, so I don't know. For based on what I'm seeing, there's some interest, but I'm not sure it's the sort of like it's going to be like the 10 plus submissions that we're going to get. But it also sounds like postponing seems to be the thing to do. So based on that, would people be okay with basically all those rules that I've submitted? The contest won't start now. I don't actually have a form ready for it anyway. But the video contest will not start now. It'll probably we'll wait until June, but get a better sense of when 1.14 is ready and the replay mod, and then maybe it could start even at the anniversary, maybe around that time, and then afterward we'll give it maybe about a month or two for people to make these videos, and then we'll have voting happen at that point. Does that sound good to people?
Nice. My submission should be an advertisement telling people to participate in the contest.
I see.
Yeah.
There's no.
That's very meta.
There's no rules against meta stuff, so I mean.
No lot of rules that'll stop an advert.
What if you
I
just
sure
submit-
want some lechon kawali.
I'm like, someone's just going to submit a Fred rail ad, and that's probably going to be Fred.
Fred has indicated to me that until other people mumble that he will be participating.
Oh.
If Fred
God,
did
help
it.
Imagine a
Oh,
10-minute long
no,
Fred Rail ad.
This is gonna be
That
great.
will be a horror
Oh
movie.
god.
Oh no, he should submit the Fred Rail movie.
Yes, it's a horror movie.
The adventures of the people who rode Fred Rail and those who didn't.
I'll be scarred.
Oh no.
No, there's an actual Fred Rail movie. It's literally a 2-hour video of just ride Fred Rail repeated over and over.
Right, Fred.
Okay.
Right, Fred.
Right.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay, last call for serious
That's-
questions. So any last so I'll decide for the video contest. Any last call? Any further serious things you guys want to talk about?
I mean, I have a couple questions about my role as caretaker, but that's like individual questions, so I'll save it for later.
Okay, yeah. Feel free to ask staff right after GSM, and we'll help you there.
York has a question.
Okay. I've told Fiork that he has to PM me the question, so Fiork,
Yeah.
PM me the question. Any other questions? Well, I'm waiting for Fiork's thingy.
It's 6:50 a.m.
Bedtime for you then.
Oh, Jane, go to sleep.
Nah, I just woke up.
Yeah, I woke up at like 7.
Yeah, me too.
AM,
And I
so,
went to sleep at like
It's
2.
very early.
I woke
I
up
went to
at
sleep
8.
at 2.
I woke up at 8
I woke
a.m.
up
but
at-
because I was tired, I didn't get out of bed until like 10:30.
Same.
Midnight in Europe.
That's me every weekend morning.
My sleep schedule is just wrong.
Fiork's question.
Sunday morning cartoon.
Excuse me. Fiork's question is: so recently we had a big influx of guests. Do you have any opinion about it? That's pretty normal for us. I would expect that after updating to 1.13. I don't see anything particularly suspicious about that, to be honest.
Border
So
security is tight.
yeah. I would expect if we were on the latest version, then definitely we'd be getting a much larger influx of guests, mainly because and I'm still surprised by this. Apparently, a lot of people who play Minecraft don't understand how to downgrade to a older version. I've actually had some emails.
I mean, there's a lot of
there's
a lot of like younger people who aren't good with tech and stuff.
I've actually received emails from some people saying, "Wow, why don't you update to the latest version? You know, this is such an inconvenience for me." So anyway.
You can just press like 3 buttons.
There are probably some people who don't understand that there's more than one version.
Just say no, you.
Like, how come the server is X'd out with a red X and a bunch of weird
Yeah. So
I mean, all you have to do is open up the MRT launcher and change the profile to 1.14.
the
What's so
MRT
hard?
launcher.
The MRT launcher.
I agree. Because
First,
you would
what you
never
have to
use
do is
Minecraft
you
or
have to
anything else, right?
uninstall it.
You would never be a traitor.
okay.
Even we can't agree on how to do this.
I'm going to. Okay, that's the end of the serious questions, I guess. It's
Oh,
time
yes.
for silliness.
It's my time to shine.
Actually,
No,
I've
just
always wondered.
send a question
I've always
directly.
wondered what would happen. Like, is there a secret emergency plan for what would happen if somehow a random video about the MRT goes viral and we get a massive influx of guests that overloads the servers?
We've already had a
like
viral
2v2t.
video, and that did not translate into a large influx.
Well, yeah, but it was. But
Oh,
most people-
yeah,
unless you looked in the description, you wouldn't even know it was about the
That
server.
video
Which
has
is
3 million views.
Yeah,
So.
literally,
I know,
if you search Minecraft plane crash on YouTube, it's like the first result.
I know, but I'm like, what if
video
someone
is
made a
this?
video about the server that like
It's a-
actually directed
it's a-
people towards the server?
It's a
much more
video
than-
Spin Flasher made years ago of an animation of an intra-airplane crash,
Okay.
and it has like 3 million views. On
Okay,
YouTube.
to answer your question.
hilariously unrealistic.
To answer your question, J Train, there is no plan that staff have discussed because we never experienced before. We don't know what to expect there. Like it seemed akin to like say a famous YouTuber happened to just visit our server, which has never happened. So
Here's the plan. If it happens, deal with it.
We did have a famous YouTuber look at a building that was stolen from our server.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is true.
Really, who?
Yes.
Back during the time of the old world, Dan TDM did a video of a cinema he found in Planet Minecraft. It was literally the cinema from Spawn City on the old world that someone stole.
Yeah, and that is a cinema that Thomas Fife made. So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because you know it is because there's literally a Kalmar fried chicken inside the
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Guys, with regards to the silly questions, just ask them directly. You don't have to say like you're in queue or anything because I'm just gonna go straight through them.
Frumple, I think you have a long queue in Discord.
Yeah, and in game too.
Silly questions.
Let's see. Let's read them all out, shall we? So Rocket Science says, "Funny question here." Haha. Okay. Skelly says the trustee meet. Okay, you'd like to do the trustee meeting presentation. All right, Skelly, you have the floor. What do you have to present to us?
We, the trustees, propose the following items. Promote Damien C. 2004 and minor_Todd to trustee. No confidence in His Majesty the Owner staff team. Supports London 150 in his hard time. Enact a required aggression pact between Yorkistan, the city-state of Catania, and the free city-state of Catania. Invade Rissima and some other place which I forgot. And the final item, convert the games world into an airport world. Approved.
Yes.
Okay, isn't Minotaur already like trustee exactly?
I believe so, but the problem is
because he was a mod, so he would have been demoted trusted.
the problem is I just looked up Minotaur because we're using a new permission plugin. He's not actually registered on the server, so I don't know what rank he is. I don't.
He's in the
He was a mod, so he would have been trusted.
He probably would have, but I'm not entirely sure. So
he'll be in the member spreadsheet though.
The most significant thing I remember about him was he denied me permission to build a rail line to Kalmar in 2013.
Okay.
Okay, next.
Okay, I'm just gonna go. I'm just doing the in-game ones quickly first before I get to the Discord ones. Rocket also asks, when will the lottery be looked after? I'm concerned it's rigged. You can rig the lottery yourself by doing /rig in-game.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I just.
Okay.
Oh,
that's funny. I didn't even know that was a thing. Wow.
I added that command by popular demand, so I mean, now you can't complain about it being rigged because you just rigged it.
After checking console, 7 people have done it.
Wait, wait, what command?
/rig is now an available command.
I've just translated the.
It would be funny if, like, 1 in every 100 times it just sends you a picture of an oil rig.
That's a great command.
I've translated the obfuscating, and I'm just.
It would be great if, like, every 100 times the command is typed, someone just gets sent a picture of an oil rig.
Yeah, Vega.
Instead of getting lottery rigged.
Unfortunately, it's an essentials custom command, so it's kind of like /apply or /info. So
The obfuscated text does confirm it's been rigged. So,
yeah, I don't reveal. If you have figured out what the obfuscated text is, don't reveal it. I'll let people figure that out themselves. So.
Oh yes, wasn't it?
It's pretty easy. Don't spoil it. Also, don't spoil the nothing. Next.
I just said don't. Okay, anyway, let's go look at the Discord pings that I'm getting. Chief says hello. Underscore says oh, okay, you're queuing. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Mojang asks, do you have a house? Do you want a house?
Do you want a house?
Or a midget cottage in my 11th town named Jeb? No, thank you. Underscore asks, are you going to Venceslo? Not anytime soon. Kitty Cat asks, I beg to move that this house has no confidence in your Majesty's staff team. Yeah, I sometimes wonder too. Frosty Creeper 10 says... Frosty Creeper says, on a scale of 1 to whatever that number is, who is your favorite trial mod? That's a that's a trap.
There's only one trial mod, so I mean...
It's a trap.
The question's a trap.
Well, yeah, but it has to be on a scale of 1 to...
I'm not answering that question.
Yeah, how much you like me, Frumple?
I mean, you're in the staff team. I mean, what else do you... Okay, anyway.
I mean, you are one of the people who recommended me for mod. Thank you, by the way. So I'd say that's pretty.
Okay. Let's see. 0x10 asks, can I get a question in after the nothing guessing? Why? Why can't you ask the question now?
Because he asked me what it is, and it would spoil the nothing.
Oh, okay. I mean, sure. I mean, all right. Conric is asking, without spoilers, have you seen Avengers Endgame? And if so, what is your opinion on it? Ah, okay. I have seen it. Before seeing the movie, I did think it. I did have I did, at least from the hype I saw, it did seem like a pretty important movie. But after seeing it, I am now more of the opinion that perhaps it's a bit too hyped, and the spoilers not so spoilery and interesting. Honestly, it's a good. I do think it is a good ending for the Avengers, like the whole series of movies. It brings it into a nice conclusion. But it was.
I was gonna say, do you read the comics, Frumple? If you read the comics, I think you'd understand more of the situation.
I don't read comics. I'm sort of like, what's the best? I am sort of aware.
I would say
I am aware of the lore behind it. So I was
gonna say, because there's a lot of things in the comics that's why a lot of people hype it, because if you don't read the comics, you will not get half the things that are in there.
I did get a few of the things, and I do also. I've seen all the previous movies, so I do recognize some of the things that happened before. But still, I don't think it's, in terms of other, like in general, it's a fun movie. I wouldn't rate it terribly high. Like it's good enough. I think the movies really captured that comic atmosphere. It really felt like you were reading a comic book when you were watching that. Everyone's pinging me now. I have 15 pings in voice channel.
The way you say
better answer that.
Okay, next question. Kitty Cat, what's your opinion on when Superman... Oh my god. Nope. That doesn't happen in Endgame. Nope. That's... Chief asks...
Did you just spoil that Superman doesn't kill Batman?
No, that doesn't happen in the movies. Don't be...
So you're spoiling it.
You're spoiling it.
No, you need to get your comics right, because that's the wrong universe. That's the wrong universe. Chief asks, "What have you solved the mystery of?" I like stop spamming big numbers at me. That's not good for my health. Skelly asks, "Will you stop the Canadian agenda in my Cartia?" Why would I want to do that? Canada's everything. Dragon Elpmurph at? I don't know. No time. I don't want to look at the. No. You should see my library. No. Okay. Okay. These silly questions are not high quality here. Echo Hugh asks.
There are better high quality questions at the bottom though.
Echo Hugh asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, who's your favorite premier whose name starts with an E?
But it's on a scale of 1 to 10.
LD Shadowlord.
I mean, you had two straight lines, and that's
yes. My favorite premier, his name is Echo-Matic. There you go.
Oh yes.
Oh no, Fumble. That's not on a scale of 1 to 10.
So what?
Hi.
So the correct answer is 4. Moving on.
Anyway, next up is, have you tried rat milk? No. Frosty Creeper asks, does the MRT plan on staging a coup of Wolfhaven? No, we have friendly diplomatic relations with that server, and we have no intention of...
Is what the deep state wants you to think.
That sounds very suspicious.
Chief asks, have you or a family member suffered from Mojangitis? I don't think I have, because I don't build on the server, so there's no way of...
so then you are not entitled to
are you a vaccine?
I'm full of vaccine.
Otto asks, will you eat cookie 46910? No, thank you.
Got cookie.
No cannibalism.
Echo is kind
to get through first.
Mojang, do you endorse Pac-Man for Senator? Kitty Cat. No, I'm not going to read that out loud, Kitty. Can you buy half the lottery ticket? Nope, that's not possible with the plugin. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your favorite color of the alphabet? The question doesn't make any sense. Let's look back on in-game here. Red Ray says, would you like to watch the Red Fair movie? I mean, I kind of have to. It's not, I mean... Robin asks, Montreal or Toronto? I've never been to either. Maybe I should just... I've been thinking maybe I should just go on a trip again because... I don't know. I'm just kind of stuck here. In the city here. Oh, really? Little Shadow asks, what would your persona be?
That might be the best.
Be very careful with your next words.
I agree.
Yes.
Or you can say no and we'll be done.
I'll just say no. I don't think about those sort of things. J-Train asks when.
No comment.
J-Train asks when will we see new MRT time lapses? I have been thinking of making time lapses. It's just more of a motivation and time thing. I do have the time. It's just I want to work on other projects first before I do that. So maybe towards the anniversary I might actually try to do it. The problem with the time lapse this time around is
Lines are much longer.
The lines are much longer, but also the stations themselves may be broken, or at least have like stuck carts in them, so those need to be cleared. I'll have to rename signs and all that sort of stuff. And also, while I'm doing the time lapse, there could be like people. I do want people in the time lapse. I just don't want them disrupting it, which I know someone's gonna do because that's what you guys do. So
could I directly add a question onto that?
Sure.
I know some people who make some really good music in a style quite similar to the past music you've used in time lapses. Would you mind if people would be able to submit like music that is allowed with copyright for their videos?
I am probably this time around. I think I'll probably choose brand new music. So yeah, that if you have suggestions for music, I would be open to looking at that. I don't think I'll be using the old music because, especially if the lines are different and longer, I don't think the music will fit anymore for those lines. So yeah.
And there's also a few people on here that also make some really good music in a similar style, like for example SB Dev.
The only line that has not been extended is the Arctic.
Yeah.
And the
Arctic line music is pretty good. Like the timing on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, like you could use that
it's
one
like
in the Arctic.
perfect.
Well, it's like that one in the Circle have not been extended.
But then I could just extend the Arctic line and just. I don't actually. No,
we need a Circle line extension.
Actually, Arctic's a weird one.
Outer Circle line.
Sorry, Arctic's a weird one also because it also has all stations named because we were going to do that announcement project too. That's another project I want to try to finish too at some point. But
what? Will there also be a Marina shuttle time lapse?
A what time lapse?
Marina shuttle time lapse.
Yes, please do it.
Yes, please do.
Yes.
500 times
it's funny.
Woolrich did a video, 360-degree video of the Marina.
Yeah.
And I already did a time lapse. It's literally 10 seconds long, like the actual time lapse version of the video.
You can do that one in real time. You don't need to speed that one up.
That's why it would be funny to speed it up.
Just have a war.
Yeah. Okay, I need to continue with the silly questions. I'm getting behind. Let's see here.
Additional 20 ping.
Dragon believes that the correct answer was hexagon. I don't know what that means. Mega asks, "Am I the dictator of the map world yet?" I mean, kinda. It's your home now. You go live there. Protocol says, "Will you go sicko mode?" I don't know what that means. Feline holding sign up. I don't know what that is, Kitty. Echo asks, "What's the best Canadian province?" That's a hard one. I don't know. I only lived in one, and this one's not the greatest. So, Skelly asks, "Have you considered taking a visit to Block Island Wind Farm? Visiting New England is a good thing to do." Are you talking in real life, Skelly? Is that?
I assume so.
I'm assuming that. What else?
I mean, Prince Edward Island is obviously the best province in Canada.
I don't like Prince Edward Island because of Anne of Green Gables.
No.
Anne of Green Gables is a terrible book, and I hate it.
No.
0x10s is a hot dog, a sandwich. Sure, I don't know. Yeah. Underscore as 11s. Would you like a rhetorical question to segue into guessing the nothing? I don't think Yoshi would like that.
Spoilers.
He would.
Spoilers.
Frosty
Enough
has.
spoilers.
Would you be in favor of officially considering the space wheel as an extension of AT? Actually, I do. I have a serious answer to this, and Tom's not here to say this. I did notice. I did tell staff internally in the GSM that after we added the map world, it really reduced the amount of free space we have left in our RAM disk that we are using to host all the server files.
Are we going to have to get rid of the space world?
No, not Tom.
So hold on.
Now AstroCorp will have no purpose.
So hold on. So right now we're okay, but in the event that the map world isn't at capacity yet, but in the event that we do, we may need to expand. The map world. Then we would, in order to do that, we need to maybe look at retiring one of the worlds, and the one world that would probably be retired is the space world, because I don't see many people actually building there. So
does that mean pasting the space world over 8?
How much would it cost to get more RAM?
No, just go to download more RAM.
It's not. It's less of a. Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to answer your question. It's less of a case. I can actually expand the RAM disk, but that means less RAM for the actual processes, the server processes on the server, like the website and the database and the actual game server. The RAM disk is literally it's basically a disk that has the server files that allows it, and when you access the access and write speeds are very fast. So I can expand it, but there's a cost to it. I can't pay money to expand it, unfortunately. That's not how it works.
I wonder, because if you had access to the hardware, you might have been able to do something on it.
Yeah, just so you know, the machine itself has 64 gigabytes of RAM. Half of it is used for the RAM disk, so 32. But I can adjust the allocations to that if as needed. But 32 is what I've gone with because it's a nice even number and has stored all our server files on there. There's also one other thing I could say also. Maybe I'll leave that till later. Next up here, blah, blah, blah.
You have a list to get through the list.
I'll get through this first. Jeez, how many? You guys are making this meeting very long. You know that, right? This is getting longer than the damn agenda. So,
in their defense, you did ask for silly questions.
I did. I didn't ask
we should
for so
probably
many.
get to 20 questions soon.
You could just cut it off here.
I could, but there's Kitty asked. Yeah, you should. Did you know that the still at Salvador Station is accepting bus bay requests, and that by reading the question, okay, that's typoed. Time lapse music, okay. No 0x, you are not the Prince of Bel Air. Stop pretending.
C418 actually makes really good time lapse music.
Echo asks, can we have an outer circle line that we are building it? It's called the Southern, Northern, Western, Eastern lines.
Oh yes.
Actually, no. It's Southern, Northern, Western Jungle.
Oh, jungle. Yeah,
jungle. Jungle.
That really messes it up.
HETS, can you go play DDR?
Northern,
No.
Southern Jungle.
Chief asks, is it water wet? Why? Oh man, these are terrible.
Well, by definition, yes.
Skipping.
Kitty, notice how Kitty and I asked literally the same question.
Okay, I'm going to declare.
What's the most boring MRT line besides the marina?
Can you at least answer my question?
It's one of the most exciting lines there, but
What's your question, Robin? I think I've lost it already.
What's your favorite anime?
I'll get that for you.
What's my favorite what?
Anime.
I don't watch anime.
Yeah.
20 questions.
Questions time. Let's go.
Let's begin.
She's done. The nothing is ready.
Okay, Chief, do you want to keep track of questions?
Yes.
Okay, let me get my piece of paper out because I'm also keeping track of what I'm asking here.
You can get this one.
You're just putting pressure on me like that, huh?
Yes.
It's so easy.
I can tell you, it is not the faking of the moon landing.
Okay, let's do this.
one.
I'm gonna try to do this very quickly. Is it a person?
No.
No.
Is it a place?
Yes.
No.
No.
Okay. Okay. Is it an event?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it an event? Is it an event that happened within the last? Let's see. Is it an event that happened within the last year?
No.
No.
Most people would say no.
What were the ramifications?
It didn't happen.
It did not start in the last year. No.
The effects of it have very much been felt.
I would say it did not start last year.
It did not
How you define happen? Yeah.
It's ongoing.
I'm regretting asking this question because I got a confusing answer out of it. So,
it did not start last year.
I'm going to put a question mark next to that. Okay. Is it a recurring event?
No.
I hope not.
I hope not. You know,
potentially, but no.
Hopefully not.
Big no.
Is it an event that has happened on the server?
No.
Oh God,
That'd be funny.
Be interesting if it did.
I actually have done.
The answer is no. The answer is no.
The answer is no. The answer is definitely.
So it's not recurring, not on the server. Is it an event that happened? Let's just say this. Is it an event that happened in real life?
Yes.
Where else?
Well, I mean, it could have happened it could still be a fictional event. I mean, right?
It happened in SpongeBob.
It happened in real life.
Yes, the only two places are the MRT in real life. Everything else is a fake news.
Okay, all right.
Fair enough.
Happened in real life. Okay. Is it an event that Did the event happen somewhere in the did it happen somewhere in I'm trying to do it by place here. Is it an event that is an event that happened in the United States of America?
Nope.
No.
No. Again, it'd be funny if it did.
that reveals a lot, actually.
I can think of several instances when it would be funny.
But the answer is no. The answer is no.
Is this an event that happened in Europe?
Yes.
Okay.
Depends how you define Europe.
Is this an event?
No, it definitely happened in Europe.
Is this an event that happened in the United Kingdom?
Yes.
Yes.
Does it have something to do with the Houses of Parliament?
No. Sort of.
Yes.
The answer is they're involved.
Yes, they're involved.
Okay. I wonder what it is. This is I wonder what
2008 financial crisis.
What you get?
I wonder what it is. I wonder if I should just draw this out. Let's see.
No. Maybe you never know. Maybe you'll have it wrong. You've had it wrong before. So.
True,
oh God! If you draw it out and you're wrong,
is it Brexit?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, come on. What else could it be?
Well, for a second I thought you were gonna go on like order. Just say order.
I could have asked some other things like,
it could have been. Never mind.
Statue of Burko being like order would have been hilarious.
I could have asked.
Setting it on fire. Stop setting it on fire.
I could reference some other events like, does it have some? Is it the birth of Prince whatever his name is? I don't know, like whatever. I don't even know the name of the new baby because who gives a shit?
Prince Baron Harrington.
That is very true.
But yeah, In respect of
the
the
heads I was hoping on disappeared.
In respect of the question, is it recurring? I hope not.
I really hope not.
I want to see America exit the EU.
I think we should all kick out Florida because no one thinks they're good.
Okay,
No.
Florida exists? Wow.
Wait, Florida should be.
There is something really funny. What if
Florida's
Texas
like in the
leave
list
the
of top
US?
4
We'd have
states people
Texas.
think of when they think of America.
Okay, Minnesota should just accept its reality of Canada's 14th province. Change my mind.
Do we want Minnesota? I'm not sure. We already have problems on our own.
Okay, but like, Minnesota's basically Canada.
Is it?
You know, while we're at it, I think Staten Island should go to New
Yoshi, you
Jersey.
took a picture already, right?
Go to where?
New Jersey.
Oh god,
Okay.
that argument.
Here is 0x question after doing the 20 questions. What do you think of Brexit?
Ooh.
I think it's simply whether or not you are for or against the fact that there's all this uncertainty is causing probably much more damage than either option. So yeah, like I think it's basically the United Kingdom imploding on itself, and if they want to go ahead and do that, that's their choice. So
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, maybe the weirdest thing about this is that they make an argument for Brexit that's based on like we don't want to lose control of our country, but then right before leaving, they vote like the press freedom article thing through, and the upload filter that like people don't want, but then the entire UK like MEPs just vote for that like right before they leave, basically making sure that they dictate for everyone else what happened because they decided to vote with that. Well,
I believe they made up that bro.
Like,
The vote kind of happened because like a big reason for the vote was not it could have been like any serious vote, but it was like on something that was perceived as like elitism and the whole establishmentarianism, and like especially because of all the austerity and cuts that have been put, like that the UK has had since 2008. Like a lot of people feel disenfranchised by like all the political
thanks, Kitty.
issues and
Where
stuff.
are we?
If you're going to have a situation where like you are really disadvantaged compared to where you would have been a decade ago, and it doesn't like regardless of whether something will be prosperous or not. If like the whole vision of the EU was shown as wait, let me finish. Like the whole EU was shown in the referendum as we are prosperous right now. Like we need to continue this, but people who are disadvantaged and aren't really in a situation where they have money or struggling in rent and stuff, they don't see those benefits, and you can't really blame them because they're not really receiving them, especially with the austerity. So it's like, well, I'm going to vote for change rather than vote for something that's still, even if it's said to like cause more economic harm, how much worse can I get in that situation? And that's why it went through. Regardless of whether you agree with it or not, there's like you have to like consider like there are some people who are just so pushed down by who are just so fed up that that's why it went through, because they just didn't want to change.
A big part of it also is I think the misinformation campaigns, and also plus the
I mean, to be fair, there was a lot of misinformation on both sides. Like, I don't agree with that argument because it was
not in that way. Misinformation in that people just weren't informed, where they just didn't know the consequences of what would happen. They just knew they wanted change. They just didn't know what that change would be.
Yeah, like for okay,
Well,
I think a major problem with that indeed is that people weren't really informed, and that's really something that's shown. Because even if people think they're not benefiting from the EU, for example, the trade agreements give such an economic boost that even for like
but like my point is, like I kind of
worse if it wasn't there. And that's something you don't realize because it's the current situation, and you don't hear anything about why the current situation is the way it is.
Can I leave now?
But like the point is that it's like like I kind of
Because
hold this
streams
to like
still don't
I've kind of like started thinking about this like a load of other things now. It's like if you're in a situation where you're literally falling behind on rent and you are told this institution makes us rich, and you are going, I don't have any benefits from that, and you're told by the government for years, oh, we're gonna have to cut services to reduce our debt because we're overspending, and then those services are the ones that are helping keep you afloat. So you are now really struggling. You are going to vote against what the party that has cut everything for you and told everything about the benefits of the EU. You are going to vote against them and vote to leave, regardless of whether it's good or not. It's change, and also it represents I do not support what you're doing, and that's why there was like. That's why it was across party lines, because it was.
It's anti-establishment.
It wasn't a party thing. It was a big middle finger to everyone who runs the country.
Yeah, basically like a unilateral, like anti-establishment view. But I think that people who are in that situation don't realize if the economic advantage, especially in trade, weren't there, the budget of the government in the UK would have been a lot lower than it is right now. It may be good in the future to leave, it may not be, but right now we know the free trade agreement brought massive economic growths in the past quite a long time, meaning that also has an impact on government budgets, which means the government would have had even less money to spend if it hadn't been for the EU. Meaning the situation could have been worse with that. I think that's something people don't see because people don't see the current situation. They see that things are bad right now and that they can change, but not that the things that aren't bad on their side are not as bad on their side just because of the current system. In this case.
Like I completely agree with you.
They should be
but it's
rising up against the management of the country and about the mistakes and the ideological differences that are there in like management of the country. For example, like the lack of access to healthcare in the US is as an example.
Oops, I'd realised the GSM hadn't ended.
The GSM was not done yet.
I was waiting for you guys to realize, but I mean, yeah.
MBS already.
You're looking in the chat.
Continue this conversation until like 12 at night.
By the way, what port is this? Like, where are we?
This is the Camino military shipyard. The Camino military shipyard.
Okay, the last thing before we go. Does anyone want red line buses going to the town?
Oh yes. Also,
did you already do the line to Novice?
Also, there are bays available at the Salet Salvador Station bus terminal, as Frumple so generously advertised during the.
Anyway, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.
What
Goodbye.
hours do we have until the render begins?